Sorry, folks, for the road noise. I'm doing this while I'm driving so that I can keep this timely. But news from Charlotte is the case between NASCAR and 2311 and Front Row Motorsports has settled. So now what are fans going to bitch about? I say they settled 6 to 8 months too late. And here's why. NASCAR has always ruled with an iron fist. But see, the reason they ruled with an iron fist is because they had just enough control that they weren't completely in control. And what I mean by that is they always said, you are independent contractors. And for the most part, that was true because NASCAR didn't own everything. You could take your car and run it in USAC. You could take your car and run it in ARCA. And then for a while, you could take your car and run it in Hooters Cup. And you could take your car and, run it in a short track series or whatever. NASCAR, now that they own everything, that's not true anymore. You were, between the rock and the hard place. You bought every piece of equipment for that race car from NASCAR-approved vendors. Now, how in the world are you an independent contractor if that's the only place you can run the car? They own the tracks, well, most of them. They own the concessions. They own the air you breathe. They own the chase trucks. They own the parts and the pieces that you want to buy to run that car. You're stuck. So now what they also have to contend with is all of these internal memos and notes and thoughts that they thought they could keep private that's now out in the public sector. So NASCAR fans now know what they're thought of because you saw what they thought of these owners. So what did they think of you? Does NASCAR really think that they think this is just monetary? They're kidding themselves. NASCAR has prided themselves. When I grew up, there was a famous saying, and a lot of people will remember this too. I was trying to learn things as a nosy kid, and what would they say? None ya business. Well, that was what NASCAR was too, that old school thinking. None ya business. Teams knew just enough to survive, but they didn't know too much to where they knew because teams don't want to let that out either. So what did this cost NASCAR?